Hello and welcome back to Bookish Bliss. Today I will be going over my February wrap-up and my March TBR. I read some good books and some not so good books in February, and I hope I have a just as good, if not better, reading in March. So let's get into it. First up, I'll be going over my February reading wrap-up. I very technically read 8 books this month. There's 7 listed there, but there's a very short novella in one of the series that actually on Goodreads and Fable, the 2 book tracking apps that I use, count as a book. So I am counting it as a book because it basically is the reason I actually reached my goal this month. So, it's not cheating, okay? It's not cheating. Yeah. I'll go in order of when I read them and just go over a brief rating and what I thought about the books. First up, I have The Shadow and Bone Trilogy by Leah Bardugo. This was... Sorry, that's off center. This was the first thing that I read all February. I was actually in a reading slump at the end of January, I'm sorry. And this series got me out of it. 5-star series, 100%. I love everything about it, especially this setting. And as I've said in previous videos, I really love the magic system, how it mixes some human technology, like modern human technology, with this intricate, amazing magic system, and I love it. My favorite book out of the trilogy was probably Siege and Storm. I mean, first of all, this cover so pretty. Also, I just really liked the characters and what happened in it. It was sad at certain parts, but it was really good. 100% I recommend this series if you're looking for a fantasy to read. This got me out of my pretty bad reading slump, and I'm very grateful for this series for doing that. Yeah. And then I was talking about a novella. And the novella, oh my god. Okay, well, Shadow and Bone's gonna sit on the ground for a second. I meant The Tailor, which is basically a novella about Genya, one of the side characters in the series. There we are. And it was 20, 30 pages, but it is technically a book on Goodreads and Fable, so I am counting it as a book, which got me to my goal for this month. So, yeah. And then, that's basically all I have. In my top 10 YA book recs video, Shadow and Bone was in it because I just loved it so much. Again, I'm very grateful to this book for getting me out of that reading slump, and I love it so much. I did attempt to start Six of Crows. It's like a prequel, or I don't know if it's a prequel, but it's set in the same universe as Shadow and Bone. I did DNF at 10 pages, and I just wasn't feeling it. I think I had gotten out of Shadow and Bone too soon. It had been a week or 2 since I'd finished the series, and I think I just need to give it more time. And hopefully I can give Six of Crows another try in the summer, and hopefully I'll like it more than I did this first try. Yeah, so my first 3, technically 4 books of January. Next up, a romance book, because, of course, Valentine's Day. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This was one of 2 romances that I read in February, and it was really good. It was better than I expected. This is a middle grade romance book. I didn't necessarily have low expectations, but I didn't have high ones. And you know what? This book did good. I liked it. It made me cry, and I think I'm just getting more sensitive to books nowadays because, it was sad, but was it cryable sad? Probably not. Nonetheless, it was still a good book. I think I rated this maybe a 3.75 stars. The thing about it is it's supposed to be a romance, and it is. There's romance, but a good portion of the book is about the main character Hadley and like her family dynamic with her father, and like a lot of it is devoted to that, like half the book minimum. So it does kind of take away from the romance a little bit when we don't see it for a pretty long time in the book, but it does get better, and I think the ending was cute. Probably could have been better, but it did good still. And it was a pretty good book. Can't say it was the most extraordinary thing ever. It was 3.75 stars, but it definitely wasn't bad, and it was better than I expected to be, and that's always a good thing, isn't it? Yeah, so the statistical probability of love at first sight. Next up, the only other romance I read this month, Going Viral by Katie Cicatelli Cook. I don't know. Sorry. As it says on the front, this is a socially distant love story, so it's set basically at the beginning and sort of in the middle of COVID. And this was not a good book. I'm just going to come out and say it. I gave this book a 1 star. Do you know how many times I've given books 1 stars in my life? Once. When was that one time? This book. I've read a previous book from her. It's Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. I gave that maybe a 2.5 stars. I didn't like that either because the writing style, and it was cringy. But this was worse. The romance that I thought would happen did not happen, and I think the ending was not good at all. It was very dissatisfying, and I also disagree with it a lot, which I won't say much in case you do end up reading this book. I don't want to spoil it, but I did not like this book. It was cringy. It was kind of unrealistic at times, I feel. Not about the COVID part, but about the just general human interaction part. And I don't think it was well written. I definitely won't be reading any more from this author. At least it was like $3 at my book fair, so it's not the hugest waste of money, but still, I did not like this book in the slightest at all whatsoever. I don't recommend it, and I hate to say that because I feel bad when I say that, but it's the truth. Yeah, sad to say, my first ever 1-star read, Going Viral. Alright, next up is a book that I do not own, Hear Me, which I'm just gonna like overlay the cover there, by, I'm sorry, I forgot the author's name, but it's, up there on the screen. Hear Me was a book that I had to read for school, like a school thing that I do. And I had really low expectations. I did not expect to like it at all. No one in this club that I'm in wanted to read it, and I was just like, fine, I'll read it, I'll get it over with so we can continue on. But I think it met my expectations, maybe a little lower depending on like where I was in the book. Basically, this girl has hearing loss, and she has to fight her parents on getting these implants, and even that aspect I did not like, just in that she was fighting her parents about something that should have been her decision. I was really infuriated with the parents, but not in the way that was supposed to be. I think it's unrealistic to think that parents would do that to their child, and there are parents out there that would do it, but I don't like that was the whole basis of the book. Also, I didn't like Rain. I think, and I've said this to multiple people, I think she was a brat. She was kind of whiny and complainy. Like, I know that she has hearing loss, but she was, and I don't have this, so I guess I can't really speak on it, but I think she was a bit more complainy than she could have, should have been. Didn't like that. And then the supporting characters, kind of I liked her best friend, but the love interest, quotation, he was And then, of course, the ending, I guess it ended well. Could have been worse, I guess. I think this was a 2.5 to 3 stars. Realistic fiction I'm never gonna truly love unless it like is absolutely positively so amazing, like best thing ever, best realistic fiction book ever. I'm probably not gonna love it. I'm a fantasy girly, but whatever. I expected basically what I got. Yeah. Hear Me was a book, I guess. Okay, for the 8th and final book that I read in February, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Again, gonna overlay it because this was an audiobook, so I don't have the physical copy. This was a 5-star book. It's dragons. What else can I say? I actually finished this book yesterday, being the 26th of February, so, you know, just in time for the end of the month. The only reason I read it is I wasn't planning on reading it, but a friend suggested it, and it got me points in a Goodreads club that I'm in, so I was like, why not? And it was really good. This girl doesn't want to be a dragon rider, and she's forced to be, basically. I love the main character, I love the love interest, and it was a really good book. I'm excited to start the second one, which I haven't yet, but we'll get to that. And yeah, dragons. I mean, I don't really want to say a lot because I really don't want to spoil it, but there are dragons, and I love dragons, so. And I rarely ever read dragons. If you're an author, please write a dragon book for me to read. I'll read it. I'll buy it. I'll read it. Trust me, okay? So, you know, yeah, dragons. I love dragons. That felt really short, but whatever. Fourth Wing. And with that, the 8 books that I read in February, which my goal was 8, so, you know, just barely slid that in, are done. And now I'll tell you my March TBR. By the way, this is in order of when I plan/expect to read these books. Just FYI. First up is the second book in the Fourth Wing series, Iron Flame. Again, gonna overlay it because, again, listening to the audiobook. I'm excited for this. Fourth Wing ended on a real cliffhanger. I don't know if I'm going to start it like exactly soon. Fourth Wing is the first audiobook that I've read in a while, but I want to start just having an audiobook in the background, so if I ever don't feel like reading, I can listen to the audiobook and do whatever I need to do, crochet, maybe even get some homework done, you know, if I can. So, you know, I'll just always have an audiobook going. Fourth Wing took a while, and I'm pretty sure Iron Flame is like an hour or 2 longer that I know of. So, you know, hopefully I can actually finish it this month. But I didn't start Fourth Wing at the beginning of February. I was probably like a few days in or something. So maybe I'll finish Iron Flame. Maybe I won't. I believe my goal for March is, I'm not sure if I want to set it to 8 or 9 because I've been reading longer books and I have longer books on this TBR. So, you know, of course, I'm going to read less books. But every month I need to read 8, and then every 3 months I need to read 9 to get to 100 books at the end of the year. So March is supposed to be my 9-book month, and so, you know, I should technically read 9. I just don't know if I'm going to get it done. I'm still deciding. Yeah. And anyways, Iron Flame, really hoping it's good. It's the second one in Fourth Wing series, as I said. Oh my gosh, the cliffhanger in Fourth Wing was insane. Again, my friend, she actually was waiting for Iron Flame for a while, and then she finally got to read it and Onyx Storm, and she said that they were also really good, and I'm really excited for that. And I mean, yeah, this is not going to be the first book that I finish. I mean, saying it again, it's just going to be in the background of like my reading while I read my physical books. I am going to try to lay off it a bit more. I probably could have finished the book that I'm in the middle of right now, which was on my February TBR. Probably could have finished that if I hadn't been reading Fourth Wing, because towards the end, it was the only thing I was listening to at home, because I can't listen to audiobooks at school. It was the only thing I was listening to and doing at home. So instead of reading my physical book, I was listening to Fourth Wing. So, you know, I might lay off Iron Flame a bit more. I'm not going to totally expect myself to finish it. Like, if I don't finish it, it's not the worst thing. I still have sort of 6 other books on this TBR. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited to start it, and I hope it's as good as the first one. I hope it lives up to the expectations. Yeah. Next on my March TBR, the only romance I believe that I have, Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. Sorry, this one doesn't stand because it's pretty thin. Okay. I was only planning on reading one book in March. One romance book in March. I might read a second one if I get through the other books, but most of them are pretty long, so I don't expect to. But I actually did a YouTube poll asking between Dungeons and Drama, Borrow My Heart, and When in Rome, and Dungeons and Drama 1. So I'm going to be reading it. That's honestly probably what I'm going to do every month. I'm going to choose 3 or 4 books for you guys. Most likely of the same genre, but maybe not. I'm going to choose 3 or 4 books for you guys to choose between, and that will be the one that goes onto the TBR, because I think that's fun. And you know, it makes it so that I'm not handpicking every book you guys get to put a hand into. Although it is going to be harder to do these wrap-ups because my physical TBR is dwindling, which is very good. But then it'll be more just like overlaid books. Anyways, Dungeons and Drama, it's like, if you can't tell by the title, it's going to be Dungeons. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, and I believe it's fake dating as well. It's fake dating as well, which is also really cool. And I'm excited for it. It's not very long, so I don't expect much. And it has a sequel, but as I learned with Better Than the Movies, not all romance books need a sequel. I haven't read nothing like the movie, so don't take my word for that. But who knows? Maybe I'll love Dungeons and Drama. I mean, hopefully I love Dungeons and Drama. I think D&D is pretty cool, even if I don't play it. Yeah. So, Dungeons and Drama. Alright, next, a book that I am so excited for, Light Lark by Alex Astor. This is actually scheduled to be a buddy read with my friend, and potentially my other friend. I don't know if she's getting the book or not and gonna buddy read with us or not, because she is in the middle of a few books, so she might not be able to. But when we went to Barnes & Noble, we got this book, both of us, and we wanted to buddy read. She has to finish her few books. She has to finish the Natural series and then another book before she can start this. And that's why it's a few books behind, because hopefully it doesn't take her that long. Hopefully I can finish the book I'm in the middle of and then get through Dungeons and Drama. And hopefully she'll be done with those, because she's on the last book of the Naturals. And then we can start Light Lark together. Most likely I'll be reading this alongside the next book on this list, or even Dungeons and Drama if she finishes her books early. I don't know how we want to do buddy read. I've never buddy read a book before. This is actually going to be my first one ever. I don't know if you're supposed to like pick a chapter count for per day and you each read it and then, talk about it, or if you just read it. If we just like read it and finish when we finish, don't know if we're going to do like a chapter or 2 a day or something like that. If we don't, I don't care. Most likely she's watching this video. Hi, tell me what to do for this, because this is coming out in a few days, so we could just like talk about it on the live premiere, so what are we gonna do. Thank you. And yeah, I'm really okay, anyways, back to the book. I'm really excited for Light Lark. It's very hyped up. I think the 3rd one just came out, or maybe it's going to come. I don't even know anymore. I'm getting confused with all the books that are coming out or are already out this year, but I'm excited. This book has been really hyped up. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I don't have much to say for the TBR books, besides this one about the buddy read, because I haven't read them, so I don't know a lot about them. But yeah, that's Light Lark. Next up, a book that has been on my shelf for you don't even know how long. The Immortal Games by Annalise Avery. So this is a Greek mythology. I don't know if it's a retelling, or I believe it's based on Greek mythology and it's like a fantasy based on it. Not 100% sure. but I'm very excited. Well, very excited is kind of a strong word, honestly, strong words, because it's been sitting on my shelf for like, oh my gosh, a year, over like a year and a half probably. I bought it at the book fair, did not read it. I meant to read it with my friend and my other friend, the ones who I'm probably going to buddy read Lightlark with. I meant to read it with them, and then I didn't. Only my one friend, who's definitely, we're going to call her Danny. I don't know if she wants me to say her real name, so Danny, she's the one who's definitely doing Lightlark with me. She already read this, and she said it was really good. Or maybe it was just good. I don't know, but I mean, I'm excited. It's Greek mythology, and I am absolutely obsessed with Greek mythology. Epic the Musical, Percy Jackson. Maybe that's all the Greek mythology I know. And I'm about to read more Greek mythology books, so I'm really excited for it. Just, it's middle grade, and I just haven't gotten around to read it. But I'm finally making myself read it, because it seems like a March book. Like, look at this cover. It looks like a springy March book, So, I'm hoping it is good. Hopefully. Yeah, so the Immortal Games. Alright, a new addition to my physical TBR, not to my actual TBR. Also a long and, this is random, but pretty heavy book, Lore, by Alexandra Bracken. I know you can't feel it, but it's hefty. Yeah. But, I got this book as like a freebie on Thrift Books for like, it was basically $2 because I had to pay for shipping, and then I get a free book for my points, which is awesome. And I know it's a little beat up. It came that way because Thrift Books, it's like used books, but I don't mind because, again, $2 book, and it's like over 450 pages, which is, so a paperback 450 plus page book, and it's pretty popular, I think, for $2. Yes. It's also Greek mythology, yay, and I think it's more YA, yay, and I'm really excited for it. I think it's like a game. I think it's, honestly, what I know about it is similar to the Immortal Games, but like I think this one's more complex, because, yet again, it is very long, so hopefully it's good. But this is the reason that I don't think I'm going to meet the 9-book goal. I think I'm going to get to 8 books this month, because this book is long. So, fun. But yeah, I'm just trying to really immerse myself in the Greek mythology, listening to Epic the Musical. If you haven't listened to it, you need to. It's amazing, and it's based on the Odyssey. It's made by Jorge Rivera, who's an amazing person, an amazing musical artist, and it's amazing. And then, of course, I also love Percy Jackson again. So, I'm really trying to get into Greek mythology, and hopefully this can just be added to my repertoire of Greek mythology, like, stuff that I know. Yeah. I don't really know much about this book. It was just on my TBR because someone recommended it or something, so, yeah. That's Lore. And now we're going to take a quick break before the end of the video to give you a current reading rant. I'm actually going to take out this bookmark because I can't stand up the book without it. 141. But can we admire this bookmark? It's like a water bookmark. Dance of Thieves fell. Yeah, I got it at Barnes & Noble. Okay. I'm in the middle of Dance of Thieves. Again, I'm on page 141, and it's pretty good. It started out a bit slow. I was also trying to start Six of Crows, kind of stopped in the middle. But then, it happened, and like the climax happened, and it was good. The only thing is, I think some aspects, aka the romance aspect of the book, moving too fast. It's just moving too fast, okay? And then this is a forced proximity, which is cool, but it also felt a little unnecessary. Really, the whole start of this book felt unnecessary. But I'm like 30% through, not even probably. And so there's a lot more to go. And stuff's already happened. And so, you know, I'm hoping that it gets better. I'm also not a fan of the writing style. It's very flowery, I guess, and like lush and like poetic, but like overly so. Like, I don't care if you have a few poetic lines, but like it's like everything is just like, I don't know any other words besides like, oh, metaphorical. It's very metaphorical, unliteral, whatever. And it's not my favorite, but I hope it gets better. I don't think the writing style is going to change. Why would the writing style change during the book? But if the plot gets better, I can overlook the writing style. Yeah, so there's a small little current reading rant. And yeah, let's hope this book gets better. It really needs to get better. Okay, that's everything I read in February and everything I hope to read in March. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, as they really help out my channel. And I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week, month, year, amazing life. Yeah, and happy reading.